There are places on Earth that feel like they were never meant to be found. Places hidden so deep inside the skin of this planet that they seem to belong to another age, another reality. We tell ourselves the map is complete. We tell ourselves science has reached every corner. We tell ourselves mystery is dead. But deep inside the Amazon rainforest of Peru, there is a river that boils. Not warm, not hot springs, not volcanic lava runoff. A river. Miles of flowing water hot enough to peel flesh from bone. Hot enough to blind you in seconds. Hot enough to kill any creature unlucky enough to fall inside. And perhaps the strangest part of all, there is no volcano nearby, no mountain of fire, no smoking crater, no obvious source. Just a ribbon of steaming death cutting through the jungle. I am your host for Vantage Elite. Tonight, we are entering one of the most impossible places on Earth. The river that should not exist. The boiling river. Imagine walking through dense rainforest. The air is wet. The insects scream in the trees. Every step sinks into ancient mud. Then you hear it. Not birds. Not wind. Water. But as you move closer, something changes. The temperature rises. Steam hangs in the air. Leaves near the banks droop and curl. The ground becomes warm beneath your feet. And then you see it. A river exhaling white vapor into the jungle sky. Its surface churns. Its edges bubble. Its current moves like liquid glass. Touch it and your skin blisters. Fall in and your body cooks from the outside in. Locals have known about this place for generations. To many indigenous communities, it was never a mystery. It was sacred, dangerous, alive. Long before scientists arrived with instruments and theories, the people of the forest already understood one rule: respect the river or disappear into it. For many outsiders, the boiling river sounded like myth, an explorer's exaggeration, a jungle legend, another impossible story from a place outsiders barely understood. One boy heard these stories growing up. His family told him about a river in the Amazon so hot it could cook animals alive. He laughed. How could that be possible? Large boiling rivers are usually connected to volcanic systems, and Peru's Amazon basin was far from active volcanoes. So he did what modern minds often do. He dismissed it. Years later, that boy became a geoscientist. His name was Andrés Russo, and when life brought him back to Peru, curiosity returned with him. What if the impossible story was true? What if the jungle had been telling the truth all along? Russo traveled into the rainforest to find it. The journey was not simple. No tourist signs, no paved road, no polished visitor center. Just jungle trails, river crossings, and stories passed from person to person. Then finally, he stood beside it. The impossible was real. A river roughly several kilometers long in the region, with sections hot enough to produce thick steam. Temperatures in some areas reached near scalding and beyond. Not every part boiled violently, but certain stretches were lethally hot. He watched small animals fall in and fail to escape. He saw bones near the edges. The myth had become measurement, and science now had a problem. Because if there was no volcano nearby, then what was heating the water? The Earth normally reveals its heat in predictable ways. Volcanoes, geysers, hot springs, fumaroles. These happen where magma rises close to the surface. Heat transfers upward, water circulates downward. The result is steam, mineral springs, eruption zones. But the boiling river sits in rainforest terrain far from classic volcanic centers. That means one of two things. Either the Earth's internal plumbing is more complex than many assume, or we have underestimated hidden geothermal systems beneath our feet. Both answers are unsettling. because it means the ground beneath stable places may not be as stable as it seems. Look at any forest long enough, and it begins to feel peaceful. But peace on the surface often hides violence below. Section 5. The Earth's Secret Plumbing. To understand the boiling river, you have to stop imagining the Earth as solid rock. It is not. Beneath your feet is a planet full of fractures, pressure zones, trapped fluids, shifting plates, and ancient channels carved through stone over millions of years. Rain falls in the mountains. Some of that water disappears underground. It sinks through cracks. It moves through porous layers. It travels through fault systems invisible from the surface. And in certain places, that water descends deep enough to meet intense geothermal heat. Then pressure pushes it upward again. If the pathways align, the planet exhales. That may be what is happening here. The river may be fed by rainwater that journeys underground, heats far below the surface, then rises back into the jungle already near boiling. No volcano needed, just depth, pressure, time, and perfect geological luck. Or geological bad luck, depending on where you stand. Section 6. When water becomes a weapon. People often think boiling water kills slowly. It does not. At extreme temperatures, skin damage begins almost instantly. Panic follows. Muscles seize. Breathing becomes chaotic. The current drags. Escape becomes difficult. In the jungle, there are no emergency teams waiting nearby. No sirens. No rescue boat. No trauma center around the bend. Only heat, steam, and seconds. Witness accounts and local stories describe animals slipping in and emerging cooked or dead downstream. That sounds dramatic. But physics is not dramatic. It is indifferent. If flesh meets scalding water long enough, biology loses. Section 7. The Sacred View. Modern culture often approaches dangerous places with one question. How can we use this? Can it be monetized? Can it be branded? Can it be turned into a tourist package? But many local communities saw the river differently, not as product, as presence, a place deserving caution, ritual, humility. There is wisdom in that. Because sacred often means, do not behave stupidly here. Many ancient beliefs encoded survival rules into story. Don't enter that cave. Don't drink that pool. Don't disrespect that mountain. Don't touch that river. Modern arrogance laughs at myth, until myth is measured by thermometer. Section 8. The Scientific Shock. When researchers began documenting the site more seriously, global audiences reacted with disbelief. How had so many people never heard of it? Because the world notices what it can market. A hidden river in Peruvian rainforest does not compete easily with rockets, apps, celebrity scandals, and financial headlines. Yet this place quietly challenges assumptions about geology, ecology, and how much remains ignored. We speak as if discovery ended centuries ago. But discovery did not end. Attention ended. Section 9. The Jungle Test. The Amazon does not reveal itself cheaply. Heat, humidity, insects, disease risk, isolation, flood cycles, navigation difficulty. To study remote natural systems here requires patience, logistics, local knowledge, and respect. This is why many places remain poorly understood, not because they are invisible, because they are difficult. Civilization often mistakes inconvenience for non-existence. If something is hard to reach, expensive to study, or outside commercial interest, it may remain in the shadows for decades. Section 10. What else is hiding? That question should bother you. If a boiling river can exist largely outside mainstream awareness, what else exists? Unknown cave systems? Unmapped aquifers? Rare ecosystems? Ancient settlements under canopy? Microbial worlds inside toxic pools? Geological hazards beneath safe land? The Earth is not fully known. It is selectively known, and that is a very different statement. We like to believe mystery lives in space. Sometimes it lives under wet leaves 3 hours from the nearest road. Section 11. The temptation to commercialize. The moment something rare is discovered, a familiar machine begins turning. Tourism, branding, influencers, adventure packages, drone footage, luxury eco-retreat concepts. Humanity sees wonder and immediately asks how to sell tickets to it. But fragile places break easily. A river system like this can be damaged by waste, careless construction, overuse, contamination, and unmanaged crowds. One bad road changes traffic. One hotel changes sewage. One trend changes everything. The same species that can barely keep city rivers clean often assumes it can safely monetize sacred wilderness. History suggests otherwise. The oil beneath the green. The Amazon is not only trees, it is also pressure. Political pressure, corporate pressure, extraction pressure, timber, mining, oil, gas, land conversion. When industry looks at rainforest, it often does not see ecosystem. It sees inventory. That makes places like the boiling river doubly vulnerable. First to ignorance, then to interest. Being unknown can protect a place. Being famous can destroy it. Imagine standing beside it alone. No narration, no camera crew, no music. Just jungle sound, and the constant hiss of rising steam. That sound matters, because it reminds you this is not scenery. It is process. The planet is active. The crust is moving. Heat is migrating. Water is cycling through darkness below. We call landscapes still. They are never still. Mountains rise slowly. Rivers carve silently. Forests wage chemical war through roots and leaves. Stone cracks under temperature stress. Stillness is often just motion too slow for human eyes. Some people think science kills mystery. It doesn't. Bad science communication kills mystery. Real science deepens it. Before measurement, the river was impossible. After measurement, it became more fascinating. Because now the question changed from, is it real? To, how can this be real? That is progress. Wonder supported by evidence is stronger than wonder built on rumor. A thermometer did not reduce the magic. It proved the magic deserved attention. We divide the world into categories: safe, dangerous, known, unknown, useful, useless. Nature does not care about our labels. A beautiful flower may poison you. A calm lake may drown you. A silent river may boil you alive. The mistake is believing appearance equals truth. Much of modern life runs on surfaces: polished branding, edited images, clean interfaces, simple narratives. But reality is layered, and the deeper layer usually has teeth. The boiling river humiliates certainty. It tells the geologist, you do not know every system. It tells the tourist, you are not the center here. It tells the economist, not everything valuable should be sold. It tells the modern ego, the map is not the territory. There is dignity in being reminded that the world exceeds your model of it. Humility is not weakness. It is accurate scale. Some places are dangerous because they hate you. This place is dangerous because it never noticed you existed. What happens next to places like the boiling river depends on a question humanity rarely answers well. Can we admire something without consuming it? Can we visit without conquering? Can we study without damaging? Can we protect without turning protection into performance? Too often, the pattern is predictable. First, discovery, then publicity, then traffic, then infrastructure, then waste, then regret. By the time rules arrive, the damage has already taken root. The modern world moves faster than conservation, and fragile places pay the bill. If this river could speak, it would probably laugh at us, at our headlines, at our arguments, at our need to frame everything around ourselves. The river was heating long before cameras found it. It flowed before your language named it. It may continue after your platforms vanish. That perspective matters. Humanity often behaves as though history begins when we notice something. It does not. We arrive late to almost everything. Why are we drawn to places like this? Because deep down, people are starving for evidence that the world is still alive with surprise. Modern life can feel over-explained. Every question answered instantly, every map loaded, every review posted, every destination ranked. But then something like the boiling river appears, and suddenly the old feeling returns, the feeling our ancestors knew well. There are powers here larger than us. Not supernatural powers, real ones. Heat, pressure, time, geology, distance, indifference. Reality itself is enough to inspire awe. The most dangerous illusion of modern civilization is not ignorance. It is the belief that ignorance has ended. We think because we can search, we understand. Because we can film, we know. Because we can measure, we control. But control is often temporary. Knowledge is always partial. And nature signs no contracts. Somewhere right now, forests hide systems we have not studied. Mountains conceal fractures we do not monitor. Oceans move species we have never named. And rivers flow with temperatures that should not make sense. So where do we go from here? Maybe nowhere. Maybe the point is not to conquer every mystery. Maybe the point is to let mystery restore proportion, to remind us we are participants, not owners, visitors, not masters. The boiling river is more than hot water in a jungle. It is a message that this planet remains deeper, stranger, and more powerful than the stories we tell about it. Look at the map. Then remember how much white space still lives inside your certainty. I am your host for Vantage Elite. Stay skeptical, stay awake, stay elite.